Hello there everyone, I'm Alexi, and well, unfortunately we're having to take some time out from doing some fantasy fails simply because of the case that it does take a while to record these episodes, edit them up, and get them all out for you guys. So I decided that it might be a good idea to come up with a new thing to put on Fridays when we can't end up putting up a fantasy fails video. So I'm calling it D&D Stories, and this one's going to be focusing around my own personal character who I'm running at the moment, simply because of the case that it's the easiest one for me to remember and have all of the information there easily available for this. There are other stories that I would really love to end up telling you guys about. There are some really memorable moments from me and some of the groups that I've run and run in, and well, if this one does well, then hopefully we'll do more. And hopefully we'll be able to get other people as well to end up telling their stories. But because of the fact that I'm not an animator, I figured that probably the best thing for this video would be for these types of videos is to have the screen not really showing anything and just having it be a voiceover. I'll probably put in some background images and stuff like that, so that way then you can end up at least having something to look at. Because, well, YouTube on phones isn't great, so at least there's something. But yes, a bit of context probably before we begin, just so that way then you guys know what's going on with the group at the time, so that way then you can understand why some characters are going to be there at the beginning but aren't going to be there for pretty much most of it. So my pretty much best friend Kai at the time has had a baby. He's still taking care of her at the moment. So he ended up having to leave. Our other friend, his brother, moved to Italy. And my other longtime friend had moved to Oxford. So out of it all was me, my friend Sully, and Liam, who were basically the last remnants of the group. We had a friend Andy who ended up being nearby, but other events ended up causing it, so he's, at least for now, just having to take some time off. Hopefully we'll be able to get them all in for other videos at some point. It's just life at the moment, so they're all a bit busy. But starting things off, well, I guess probably the best way to begin to tell his tale is to introduce you to him. So, without further ado, I present to you Marvolo Downpour. Where to begin to tell my tale? Well, that is quite a story. But to start things off, I suppose we should go all the way to the beginning. Unfortunately, when I was born, my mother died just after childbirth, and so my father took me in and raised me on the high seas, for he was a captain. But not just any captain, no, he was a pirate captain and taught me many things about the waves and the gulls. As a child, I was always quite rambunctious, going around causing havoc on the ship, messing with the rats, talking to the other sailors. But father was quite a strict one, even to his own son, and beat me on a regular basis. On my 13th birthday, after dear old father ended up deciding to gift me with a beatdown, I decided that I had had enough, and proceeded to skewer him, and fled off into the night. I set sail for Waterdeep in the middle of the night, and ended up hiding as an urchin for a few months until a young family decided to take me in. Yes, they were a kind family, also taking in multiple other children, including my half-elf sister Sumi Sami. But as of the age of 18, I decided that enough was enough, and I couldn't keep up the mash charade anymore, and struck out on my own, heading off on an expeditionary vessel. It was on this vessel that I met Haas S. Krogan, a Minotaur and a good man. But before we get to that point, we should probably start things off. Now, I had managed to sneakily stealth my way onto the ship, disguising myself as a young noble, hoping to learn about the world. And, well, in the meantime, a few others had ended up getting aboard, including not only the Minotaur, but a Goliath rogue. Let me say that again. A Goliath rogue. Yeah. Not so sneaky, that one. Either way, sure enough, he ended up getting caught in the deck, and, well, he got put in the brig. Now, while all of this was going on, I was slowly starting to sow the seeds of my mutiny. Now then, I am not just your standard adventurer or noble, no. I am in fact a bard, so convincing others to do what I please is actually quite simple to me. It's all about the smile. Anyway, while this was all going on, the Goliath had managed to get wind of the mutiny. With the Goliath in the brig, we then left Waterdeep and got a few knots out to sea, when we got attacked by pirates, and the crew and the others got into chaos. In said chaos, the Goliath managed to break free of his binds and managed to capture the captain, our captain. And, well, having gotten wind of the plans and believing a miscommunication when we said kill the captain and we referred to it being the pirate captain, he decided to attack our captain. Yeah, not the best choice there. So the mutiny began, and, well, suffice it to say, we won. Quite spectacularly. So, with the captain now in chains and his first mate also in chains, we took them to the brig. And then the arguing started. We are pirates after all, aren't we not? And so we had a little scuffle over who was going to be the captain. Marvolo, well, I myself wanting to obviously be the better fit, having been at sea for a long time. But the Minotaur did have many a good reason as well. Suffice to say, we did not meet eye to eye at first, and, well, I decided to cast Dominate Person. It worked, and had him start to climb to the highest part of the mast, upon which the Goliath decided to do another mutiny and attacked me, thus breaking my chain from the spell, and the Minotaur getting free. In this new chaos, we then happened to notice the captain and the first mate and a few others managing to get onto a rowboat and start swimming away with all the treasure on the ship. Now, I wasn't going to have any of that, and so, being a water genasi, I jumped off of the ship into the ocean and swam after them. Now, the Goliath, being a very athletic one, also deemed it a good idea to jump into the ocean and swim after the captain. Having just caught up to them, the Goliath, managing to end up taking the lead in the initiative, jumps out of the water onto the boat, right onto the lap of the first mate, who proceeded to stab him multiple times. I climbed aboard shortly after and started fighting against the two smaller companions. Unfortunately, I could not save the Goliath in time, and he was stabbed to death. Seeing that my new friend, for lack of a better word, die within my own sight, I decided to polymorph the first mate into a rabbit and chuck him overboard. Having managed to end up sending the other two crewmen off of the ship, well, off of the rowboat, and getting into a fight against the captain, all was going quite well until he rolled a critical hit. He stabbed me right through the chest, and I could feel my lungs filling with blood. As he pulled the sword out, he kicked my body into the ocean, and I slowly sank, drowning, with nothing but anger and hatred in my heart. Anger for the Goliath that ended up screwing up my perfect plan. Anger for the captain who has just killed me. I was not going to die like this, no. Oh no. I would not let it be. And I sank deep below the water. Back on the ship, Haas and the others was managing to take control of the crew and convince them that it was time to move on and head for other waters in search of a safe port to lay claim for home and repair the damages to their ship. The day had been won, except for the 2 lives lost. As the sun began to set on the first day, Marvolo's body slowly fell to the bottom of the waves, where then the ocean floor itself began to rise, and Umberly, the sea bitch, as she's also known, spoke to me. She thought I had a better purpose, and gave me a task to search for an island and a specific item known only as the Earth Core. I asked the mistress how was I going to find it, and she merely chuckled and said that the dear Captain Andrew Mullaney knew where it was. Hearing the name of the man who killed me, my eyes went red, my anger fueled me, and my scars began to grow. I rose back from the dead, not fully a man, not quite dead. I came back as an undead revenant, deep below on the ocean floor, but only a few measly miles away from Waterdeep. A fine city with much loot and potentially more ships. But I'm afraid, my friends, that's a tale for another time, and I will catch you all in the next episode. For I am Marvolo, the drowned.